Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's Russell Corey, and I just wanted to do a video. I know the last couple of videos I posted, they were kind of negative and they were kind of down on where this investment was at, and it just honestly it reflected reality. And if anything, when I first got into this, and everybody was pumping AMC, and it was all AMC 100K. It was easy to lose sight of any kind of risk assessment in your investment. And the last couple videos were just saying, hey, if you watch my videos, if you follow me, and the message I wanted to send is be responsible for your investment and your decisions. And I want to go back to the early days of June 2021. I found this sheet of paper that was my exit strategy, and it had my brackets when I first started investing, and I only had 89 shares of AMC at the time that I made these brackets. And I wanted this to be my, I was going to, cash out and retire and be rich from these 89 AMC shares. So I want to go over these. No, just absolutely made clear, I did not make $6 million on AMC. These were just the brackets that I was projecting, but it shows you, because if you look at it, say, why didn't you sell AMC at $65? And it was because this mindset, the mania at the time of what could possibly happen, and thinking that, these hedge funds had, and it still could. I'm not saying it can't, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to spread FUD. I'm not saying this can't happen. I'm just saying this was the mania at the time and the thought at the time. And obviously we've gone, almost 2 years for me and other people where it didn't moon. It didn't have the MOAS. And we're just dealing with that reality. Not to say it won't happen, just saying it didn't happen. And you say, well, why didn't you sell at 65? Well, this was why. This was my mindset, and why I didn't sell at $65 a share. It's easy looking back when we're, $4 a share to think, why didn't you sell at 65? But think about this mindset at the time. So I had 4 accounts that I had started for my AMC. And in the first account, so I had 26 shares in this first account. And I was going to sell, and this was my paper-handed bitch account, right? I was going to sell 2 shares at $500. Don't hate me that I was going to sell at $500. 5 shares at $1,000. 5 shares at $5,000. Okay, now it's not so bad. And 5 shares at $7,500, and 9 shares at $10,000. Okay, there you go, $10,000. That's not so bad, right? And that was going to be $158,000. So hey, that was my pocket change. That was just so I would have something in my pocket if this did run, right? So that was account number 1. Account number 2, I had 31 shares in that, and this one I was going to hold a little more. So 5 shares I was going to sell at $15,000, 5 shares at $20,000, 15 shares at $50,000, and 6 shares at $100,000. And there we go. Now we're talking some real money. This was $1,425,000, and that would have got me to retirement, I'm pretty sure, or at least definitely been comfortable for the next few years. And then account number 3. Now here's the ones these are my diamond hand accounts. 4 shares at $100,000. So you're finally hitting that floor of $100,000. 4 shares at $100,000, and 3 shares I was going to hold until $300,000. So that was going to be almost, $1 million there, $900,000. So together, $1.3 million. That was my diamond, my 7 shares. That was my diamond-handed account. And then I had one more in my account, number 4. I had 25 shares, and I was going to hold 20 of those shares for $100,000, and 5 shares for $300,000, for a total in that account of $3.5 million. And if you added all 4 of these accounts together, you're looking at almost over $6 million that these 4 little accounts, my 89 shares, were going to get me. But that was the mindset back then. And you say, why didn't you sell for $65? Because in my mind, I had these thoughts of selling for some of these shares at $100,000. Now again, how realistic was it back then? I don't know. I did write this down. It wasn't a complete joke. I did take the time to write it down, and hoped this would happen. But these were in the earliest days, and you got caught up in that mania. And I know some people still believe it. God bless you. Still, I hope it happens. I didn't sell any of my investment. I only added more as it dipped. That's what you need to understand when I put these videos out there. I haven't sold. I'm still invested. My feeling is, though, if it starts to go up, I'm more open. I don't know if I'm going to be holding to $100,000. I'm going to, make the decisions that's best for me, the best for my family. Same way you need to make your decisions that what's best for you and your family. If I really do hope it goes to $100,000, I would love that. And hopefully I have some shares set aside to go on that run. But, again, I hope you enjoyed looking at this. And we've had a nice little run in, after hours here in pre-market. It's gone up. And maybe we'll get back on track here. I only hope we do. And who knows? I don't know what's going to happen with AMC. Nobody really knows. I know right now this is the rough period. And God bless you if you've been holding and hanging on. And I'm right there with you, and I share your frustrations. But hopefully there are better days ahead. I watched the Bernie Madoff special on Netflix. If you have Netflix, I definitely recommend seeing it, even if you're familiar with the Madoff story. A lot of it I was pretty familiar with, but just seeing how the SEC was so inept, so incompetent, and how they missed it and let this go on and on for something as simple as if they just at one point checked an account number. If they just looked it up, they would have saved people billions of dollars, and they couldn't even do that. And they just seem so outgunned, the SEC, so overmatched with these criminals that they're up against, that it breaks your heart. I remember in the early days really having faith in, thinking, Gary Gensler, maybe, he doesn't look like much, but maybe this is the guy that, is going to go toe to toe with these hedge funds and the market makers, and they're going to, bring about justice, bring about the MOAS, and I'll always remember Gary as the guy that made this happen. And just as time went on, one thing led to another. They made this stupid commercials, and nobody was held accountable, and we just got cut down and down. You see the FTX stuff that happened, and you just shake your head, and it makes you so sad for the SEC and just what they can't do. And to me, it feels like a corrupt small southern town where the local sheriff is in the pocket of all the big moneyed interest in the town, and there is no justice, unfortunately, in those areas, and that's what made me sad when you watch that Bernie Madoff scandal, just how much they missed on this guy, and people were doing the work for them and handing it to them, saying this doesn't add up, this is a Ponzi scheme. And people just couldn't put it together at the SEC and shut this guy down. And you look at the Citadel right now, when they have over $60 billion in assets. If you believe all that stuff, again, this is just what I see. But if they have over $60 billion in stocks that they never bought, I mean, how is that allowed to go on? I don't understand that. Imagine if Ford took all the money for $68 billion, worth of cars, and never bothered to build the cars, and never went out and bought the materials for the cars. And it's just maddening that this was allowed to go on. But we'll see. Hopefully one day you'll be watching Netflix, and there'll be documentaries and series on AMC, already on GameStop and AMC, but with the happy ending, with the ending that we all long for. That these there were corrupt elements in this play, and when the time comes, justice will come, and we'll get our reward. Whether it'll be $6 million or not, I don't know. I hope. It'd be nice. I've always been a fan of the $6 million man. As a Gen Xer, 6 million has a nice little ring to it. But at this point, man, there's part of me that just wants my investment back, and there's part of me that just isn't greedy as I was back in the early days. But you know, there's still part of me that, hey, wants to make some money, that this could be the shot. This is the shot. This is why I got invested in AMC. And this may be that once in a lifetime opportunity that comes around. And it's been frustrating, but hey, I'm still here. And if you're still here, I'm here with you. And let's go AMC. Let's hope for better days ahead in 2023. Thanks for watching.